Better late than never. Just checking the audio volume and every single time we decide that we want to learn communication skills, we want to practice communication skills, the biggest problems that we face are, who am I going to speak to? Will the people even listen to me? Will they even understand me? Will they even be interested in knowing exactly what I have to say? And these things used to bother me a lot, worry me a lot. And oftentimes I would be like, oh my God, why are people not even listening to me? It's a crazy thing. So I always used to face this problem day in and day out, all the time. So in today's episode, I thought the enormous amount of work that I did exactly a month back, that led to changing the way Yogeshwari and I approach communication. Let me put that to you so that you will realize that irrespective of which industry you are in, irrespective of which leadership position that you hold, you really don't have to worry about anything because you can just talk directly to that one customer persona. Now, I'm going to use this in the form of an acronym, but let's first break things down in a manner. My name is Dr. Surya. Welcome to episode 76 of Daily Live with Dr. Surya, where we are going to understand how, just by the sheer power of this one little skill, I've been able to nail down and I speak to you, my dear leader, and how you can do this as well. So let's wear a couple of hats for a moment. And I'm going to see if it's possible to do it from my end with the different filters that I have. Let's first wear the hat of someone who really needs that understanding. This is the hat of just me as Surya, as someone who is just building and learning communication skills. So for me, I know that, okay, there is something that I can talk about, there's something that I can discuss. Now, if I really want to talk and I have my stories, I have my topics, and everything is given to me, I will have to speak. And I'm going to use social media to do the same, whether I use Reels, short form content, 59 seconds or less, or I speak the same manner, 30 minutes and above. I have to talk to someone, isn't it? But then the moment I change my hat to the audience, the person I'm speaking to, the moment I think of myself as an audience for the kind of content that I consume. Now, I know for you as a leader, you consume content on LinkedIn or Twitter. These are the major platforms, right? Maybe you're not that much of an Instagram fan or Snapchat or even Facebook. Maybe Facebook is just for you to interact with your friends and family. Maybe Instagram is just a place for you to scroll some reels and watch some videos. But your major hub is LinkedIn and YouTube. LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter. So for me, now when I put your hat in, the way that I'm thinking is, okay, if I'm able to find someone who is able to understand what problems I'm going through, solve the frustrations that I have, help me achieve the goals that I have, help me solve the personal problems and the professional problems that I feel like I'm stuck in this rat race or the hamster wheel. I know that I have certain set of skills because I have 15 to 20 years of experience, but this person needs to understand me and talk to me. Now, when I get back into the same mode of Surya once again, right now, this time I'm not putting any hats as such. I'm just thinking of things as Surya. Don't you think it's a little easier, far easier for me if I can talk directly to that person based on all the points that's there? So Yogeshwari gave me this challenge. She said, if you start creating content for everyone in this world, you're actually not creating content for anyone. And that didn't really feel too good, because who wouldn't want to cater to the 8 billion people on this planet? But think about it. Do all 8 billion people speak English? Do all 8 billion people have 15 to 20 years of experience? Do all 8 billion people have the capacity to sign up for a cohort? By the way, we have doubled the prices of our cohort. So it's crazy, just because of the CPD accreditation. And we will discuss this in the very next live itself today. It's not possible to cater to all 8 billion people. And then we looked at some of the examples, some of the people whom we resonate with, we trust, we really respect the work that we do. And we realized that they were speaking to one very, very unique audience. So the very first step that I asked then to Yogeshwari, okay, fine, whatever you say completely makes sense. And by the way, 2025 last quarter, as in October onwards, and now in 2026, Yogeshwari and I have, I think, redefined the way we are communicating to each other, especially professionally. And now that's probably a part of the leadership communication, the different communication frameworks related podcast which you will find in the SM show. So we've got some crazy episodes lined up for you, and you're definitely going to enjoy a lot of the interactions that we're going to have. The logic here is to understand what exactly is it that my audience wants. And she asked me this crazy question that, all these years since 2021, May 28th, 2021 is when we had our first ever webinar. It's not just that we had our first ever webinar, we also had our first ever sales. So our first webinar was an amazing success. 25,412 rupees, 24,512 rupees. I'm just confused on that second and the third number, but we pretty much made a pretty big amount, which was very, very surprising in our very, very first ever webinar, which is crazy. And then we had that entire high for another 6 to 8 months. And then the drop came in, which lasted up until December 2025. So she asked me this question, okay, if I give you all the time and money in the world, and I tell you, what is it that you would like to do? So I said, I'd like to coach and train. Okay, good. Who is that one person you would like to coach and train the most? Such an interesting question. And to look at it, the same question is what I throw to you. Don't you have people in your life, in your personal life, in your professional life, with whom you enjoy speaking with whom you enjoy spending time with? The people who ask you the right questions, the biggest action takers, they are the ones who really know exactly to do exactly what you tell them to do. They ask you those exact questions itself. Now, December, we felt that we found this person, only to realize that January, we found someone better than him. Now, better than him, I'm not comparing these two people here. I'm just saying the kind of people you as an individual like talking to. So, the very first step was to sit down with them and have a very, very informal chit chat. Name, email ID, phone number, country, experience, school, college, likes, dislikes, hobbies, interests. And these are all the neutral and the good stuff. Then their pains, fears, frustrations, desires, goals, aspirations, hobbies, behavior patterns. The more you ask them, and here's the thing about human beings, okay? When you set the context and you give them that honest, safe space to open up, human beings open up. So, what we did is, in our onboarding form, we have added all these elements. So much so that I'm probably in the process of, even right now in the conversation, I might as well increase the elements of the onboarding form. Because anyone who joins our Speak to Lead cohort, the very first thing that they go through is the onboarding form, where we ask them these bunch of questions related to their communication journey. Now all these points, right, pains, frustrations, desires, goals, aspirations, every single thing is sprinkled across those questions. So let's assume that you and I right now are starting this journey completely from scratch. That's what Yogeshwari and I did. And the moment she had this conversation with me to think from that perspective, it shifted. Obviously, because we had a previous track record of the kind of people we worked with, we were able to get some kind of a clear picture. But that was not it. That was just the ideation phase, and we are still in the ideation phase in today's life. I'm just opening up these bulbs in your head to help you think on what's possible. If you just decide that I'm going to just talk to that one persona, that could be a family member if you're starting out, that could be a friend, that could be a colleague, that could be a junior, that could be a senior, that could be that one person with whom you can just go on and on and on and on talking. That person won't get tired, you won't get tired. That's how it's supposed to be. So once this discussion was done, that was literally the spark she ignited in me, Yogeshwari ignited in me. So I went back to the drawing board. And as you know, that I'm a very, very big fan of brainstorming with AI. I'm going to take another very, very small detour and come back to the main topic. I was watching this Ankur Wariku's video. Ankur Wariku is one of my, you can say, mentors. I've got a chance to work with him very, very closely back in 2024. Yeah, 2024. And I've been following him since 2018, 2019. What I observed is he has recently revamped his courses, all his courses in this company called WebVeda, and he added an AI element to it, learn with AI. The interesting thing, though, he keeps telling that we are not going to use AI as a crutch. Rather, we are going to use AI to enhance our work, to make our work better. So for me, every single time I interact with AI, we I ensure that I get a second brain, a second perspective, and an additional opinion from a tool that has all the knowledge in the world. So that helps me, who grew up with learning issues, to get that unique perspective of anything in this world. So when Yogeshwari sent me back to the drawing board, I asked myself, okay, now let's interact with AI and start seeing what's going to unfold. Now, there are no frameworks here, there are no prompts here. There is just some honest, critical approach of some basic communication hacks to be able to ask open ended questions and receive answers. So, the way that I approached was, hi there, I want you to think of yourself as a full fledged business and marketing strategist. Now, I'm Surya, and I want to create a communication coaching program. The kind of people that I've enjoyed working with are so and so. And I gave all those details of all the people that I worked with. I also ensured that, LinkedIn has this unique feature. If you go to anybody's LinkedIn profile, they it's literally like a resume, you can say. There's an option in which you can download their entire profile as a PDF. The the moment you do so, you get their entire experience, the work experience, the school and college experience, their about section, every single detail that they've filled it in. So I uploaded all the details and I said, this is the kind of audience that I enjoy working with. So the answers came. And then I just wanted to ask and inquire, okay, if this is the exact kind of customer persona that I would like to work with, first of all, what is it that I need to do? But then I held myself back because in AI, the natural tendency, just because we have not been taught those first principles, right? Strategic thinking, critical questioning, inquisitive questioning, transformative open ended questioning, second brain thinking based questioning, strategic prompting, vibe coding, meta prompting. These are the stuff we have never ever been taught. The people who have read the books of the brightest minds, whether it's biographies or the hardcore non-fiction books that installs a skill within you, will be the people who are able to think in that regard. Otherwise, how most people use is, can you help me create 15 pieces of LinkedIn content for uh, for leadership and time management that I can copy, paste, and post? That's how people use AI. The offices that I worked with over the last 3.5 years, I've been using AI since 2020 to middle till the end of 2025. This is exactly how I saw all my colleagues using AI. This is my email. Can you please help me grammatically correct it so that I can copy and paste it and send it across? Crazy. So I took a step back and I said, I want you to brainstorm this with me and help me get a crystal clear clarity about my ideal customer persona so that every single piece of content that I create will exclusively talk directly to them. What are the steps that we need to take in order to approach this? This is what I asked AI. By the way, the first prompt was, you're a 20 plus year experience of business and marketing strategist. Second prompt is, I want to brainstorm with you. Are you able to see how I'm taking control of the narrative and having a proper brainstorming and not a copy paste kind of a stuff? Proper brainstorming. I even turned on the critical thinking feature, which is pretty much there in every AI tool. If you see, there will always be a normal feature, there'll be a deep thinking or a reasoning feature, there'll also be a deep research feature. These are a couple of standard features, even to such an extent where ChatGPT right now, recently, I found out there's a study and learn feature also. So if you upload any material, a blog, PDF, whatever it is, you can actually turn that into a study material and learn with AI. So again, all those stuff is what uh, at some point of time I do plan to venture out into, but it all comes on the foundations of communication. I want you to understand that. Okay. And we'll always grow slowly, slowly. So once this whole brainstorming thing kick-started, that's when I got a bunch of steps to go through. And the steps were pretty amazing. It blew my mind. The first step was a proper research based on all the knowledge that is there. The second step was creating a parallel active research. So what I personally got as a response, and that's because I trained my AI related to that in terms of personalization. Active research is something where you are actually talking to people and noting down the points manually, and it's more of a immersive and active approach of asking questions and learning about the person you're speaking to. So you're going to speak to one person at a time. But how much time is that going to take for me in order to nail down my ideal customer persona? It's going to take years. In fact, even to this date, the biggest companies you name it, Coca-Cola, Amazon, Flipkart, I mean, I'll take the big shots. Google, Apple, Microsoft, Facebook, Meta, no, these companies, they are still in the process of researching about their customers every single day. So it's a never-ending process. And I know that's going to take a lot of time. So it's not that I don't want to do it. I obviously want to do it. But then I need a passive, ready-made, tailor-made step zero to start with. So I asked, as a marketing strategist, this was my next prompt. As a marketing strategist, what do you look for whenever you start creating content, whether it's organic or performance marketing, however it is, running ads or whatever? How would you approach creating content? And the kind of responses that I got blew my mind. The response was, you have to, it's your responsibility as a communication expert to speak to someone's heart. And you already have the energy, the vibrance. When you speak, people feel like, wow, this person is speaking something that really makes sense. You already have that. What you don't have is exclusively what they are going through. And for that, you need to know about their pains, frustrations, desires, their goals, their personal goals, their professional goals, their hobbies, patterns, interests, behaviors, all these words. So a group of 10 to 12 words. I said to myself, okay, great. This really makes a lot of sense. Now that sparked another idea. So I said to myself, okay, if I need to create that stage zero passive kickstart, so that I can use that as a reference to at least start talking to people while being able to parallelly do my active research. Let's first fix the passive thing first. But again, everything, even before it turns passive, it needs some active one-time efforts. And this is one of my first principles, that if you fix the one-time thing once and for all, then that turns out as a passive flywheel and you never have to worry about it. This entire research had to be something that we did right at the beginning, even before we started our webinars and stuff. But it is 2025, almost what, 5 years, and we didn't do anything about it. So this is literally the time I have to do it. So I told Yogeshwari, I just need the next 6 hours, because I knew that's the time it's going to take. So I went and I asked the question, and before I did that, I turned on the deep research button. And you go to any AI tool, there'll always be either a deep research or a deep thinking or some form of a deep research button that will be there. And it's self-explanatory. Different tools will have different names, maybe. Wait, I learned a new word yesterday. Thesaurus. My God. Feels like Tyrannosaurus Rex had a dictionary gulped. That's the kind of feeling I got when I learned this word. But the the loose translation of that is actually called a synonym. And then I asked, okay, what is a synonym? Synonym is two words having the same meaning, but they are two different words. English is really a very, very dangerous language, I'll tell you, but it's good because you learn new things. Easy, right? Okay, coming back. Please don't get bored with my pathetic jokes. I'll keep cracking them anyway. So I sat down and I turned on the deep research feature and I asked the question. I want you to take up the role as my head of research and analytics, who has 20 years of experience in exclusively decoding audience demographics. These are the kind of people I enjoyed working with. And I uploaded their PDFs attached as a thing. I want you to scan the same persona all across the globe and give me a detailed report of every single thing that they're discussing with respect to their goals, aspirations, ambitions, frustrations, fears, personal goals, professional goals, behaviors, interests, hobbies. So there are these points. Make the report as detailed as possible. Include all possible citations, reports, blogs, Quora handles, Reddit posts, so that I can use it as a template to create content directly for that specific audience. This was the prompt. Every deep research takes anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes. Some goes up to 40, 45 minutes as well. And it keeps happening in the background. Deep research only got introduced somewhere in the middle of last year. And over this period of time, it continued to evolve. So the first thing that I did is, by the way, all this is happening in ChatGPT. Okay, everything is happening in ChatGPT. So I sat down, I waited. After 20, 25 minutes, the results came out. The report that I got was of 31 pages, 17 websites, and it was a properly detailed out report. And I was like, wow. The links that was shared, I'm talking about medium articles, I'm talking about deep research articles, the MIT research papers, even Gallup industry level standard studies, United Nations reports. All these citations were added. Wow, this is some amazing. Even I think there are some Wall Street Journal reports as well. So it was all there. So I copied the entire response along with obviously the links and everything, put it all in a Word doc. Now, before I did so, I already mentioned to you, right? Like the people that I spoke to, at least their initial details at what I had already put in the Word doc. But now I started copying and pasting these responses also, the research reports that I got in that specific Word doc. And then I felt that it was amazing. So I just asked the same tab in ChatGPT. This time I turned off the deep research thing, because you only get limited deep research stuff if you're in the free plan, or even in the basic plan, whatever. So I have pretty much the basic plan. As Indians, we were so blessed. We feel so blessed. I'll tell you, we are literally the luckiest country in the planet, provided you know how things work. If you the fact that we are literally the embodiments of awareness, I feel, as Indians, and we get these amazing companies coming to our country and testing things out. So as an Indian right now, when I'm doing this live, we have 1 year of Perplexity Pro free. We have ChatGPT 1 year of ChatGPT Go free. So it really feels amazing. Google Gemini initial couple of searches, it's pretty much free. So we are very, very lucky. So I was literally on that Go plan itself, and this is continuing in that conversation. Once I copied and pasted the entire thing, I just said to myself, okay, why not really turn this into a tabular column that makes it easy for me to have every single thing in one page itself? So I just asked, okay, this research is almost 37, 31 pages. Can you comprise it together in a way that I will have the top 20 goals, aspirations, fears, frustrations, hobbies, interests, behaviors, no, all those, the entire list, right, of the 10 things that I wanted, and then fill in the entire things as an Excel sheet cell so that I can easily download and keep it. And I got that as a result, and it felt really good to copy and paste the entire thing. So now I have a single dashboard where I can see. I felt that I did a very, very good job. So I went back to Yogeshwari and I said, I'm done. And she always asks me these weird, weird questions at times, exactly at the perfect time. She asked me, are you sure you're done? And it kind of struck me. Okay, it's a yes or no question, but let me really think about it. You know what? There's still something more. ChatGPT is a phenomenal tool for me. Again, it could be different for different people. ChatGPT really helps you to strategize with you by becoming your second brain, by brainstorming or sparring partner. Perplexity, I know with experience, having used the tool, Perplexity is literally, you can take Perplexity as the modern optimized search engine. If Google, just think that Google has exploded and elevated by 100 times, and all the knowledge in the world will be given to you exactly as per the questions that you ask, and that is your favorite research platform. That's Perplexity for me. So I said to myself, well, I just use the deep research feature of Chat GPT. Why not go back to Perplexity and try that out? So I copied the exact same prompt. I put it across in Chat GPT. I uploaded those four people whom I enjoyed working with, the same prompt that I told you, to give me the entire list of deep research details about all those different 10 points. This time, the response that I got, ChatGPT, Perplexity took a slightly longer period of time, 27 minutes odd. The research that came out this time, if ChatGPT had 31 citations, Perplexity had 63. And that blew my mind. No, wait. ChatGPT gave me 31-page report, 17 citations. Here, I got 63 citations, as in 63 resources were there, and the number of pages was around 40, 46-ish, I guess. And I just went on reading them, and it felt really amazing. Copied and pasted it again in that Google Doc. But now it made me even more curious. Okay, if ChatGPT has given me this response, Perplexity has given me a slightly better response, let me check Google Gemini. Gemini had just come up with their Gemini 3 model, which is literally their present, at this point of me doing this live, their flagship model. Apparently, it is the best when it comes to deep research. And we know you can always trust Google when it comes to searches. That's how we learned over the last decade or so. So I sat down with Gemini, copied the same prompt, pasted it over there, the four PDFs of the profiles of the people that I enjoyed working with, the same thing, deep research turned on. And this time I had to not wait that long because Google Gemini didn't take that big of a time. In fact, Google Gemini, what they did is they kept giving me those details. And there was this little bar where completion rate bar was also showing. So the response shocked me because Google used a total of uh, more than 100 websites and resources and all. And even more in-depth stuff. That was somewhere, I think, a 50 plus page report that I received. It had everything related to all the 10 points that I asked in a paragraph mode, even more detailed. So copied and pasted it, put together. And then I thought I was done, but then it was not over. I had one more trick up my sleeve. Somewhere, was it last year or the year before? I don't exactly remember. But China came up with DeepSeek. And when I was using DeepSeek previously, there were so many bugs that came in, weird kind of bugs. The service request is not possible, or you have reached the token limit for this particular chat. Please start a new chat. It's a purely open source AI platform. And China developed it so that the whole world can use AI absolutely for free. Whereas all these American companies, they were charging a certain fee, subscription fee to use for their token limits and stuff. And of course, if you just try searching about the simplicity of DeepSeek or how DeepSeek has been made at literally one-tenth the cost of OpenAI and stuff, you'll get so many different reports. So I realized I didn't try DeepSeek for quite a long time. Let me sit down and check that out. The moment I did, I don't know that DeepSeek had its own R1 deep reasoning feature. But then I saw that they also have added a deep research feature. So I turned on both deep research as well as deep thinking and deep reasoning feature, compiled that same prompt, copy pasted it, added those four PDFs as a reference, turned on the deep research and waited for that same prompt of all those 10 points of all my ideal customer persona. This time I was mind freaking blown because DeepSeek gave me over 167 resources, a perspective which I couldn't even fathom. Detailed bullet points, properly organized paragraphs wherever it's needed. All the 10 points were detailed out in such a manner, almost an 87-page report. Was it 87? Yeah, 87-page detailed report. And that blew my mind. When I started reading, I even came across elements that different countries all across the globe, if a company, these are all private companies, right? A company, let's just say OpenAI is from US will choose the specific AI tool will choose to conceal certain information about their own country, but give crystal clear information about all the other data. So there's certainly hidden data over there as well. DeepSeek gave me certain perspectives about the whole picture of the whole world. Again, they definitely protected Chinese stuff, is what I felt while reading through the reports. But the point is, because I used four different super brains, ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini, DeepSeek, I didn't get into Claude because Claude is more of a writing assistant, is what I feel. Claude helps you write things better. It's amazing for people who are good at written communication. You can use Claude. Again, different people have different strengths and weaknesses when it comes to AI. So I didn't want to go out there and test out all the AI research tools on this planet. That would be foolish. The fact that I did these four, compiled all their individual reports and put it in the document, that document is saved as my ICP. And mind you, for each of those other tools also, I told them to create that table. So now when I went to Yogeshwari and I told, this is my report, and I showed her, I'm not sure whether she read it or not, but the fact that she saw the depth. In Google Doc, you have this feature, you have headings, subheadings, all those things on the left side, and the main doc has all those on all the stuff written down, to such an extent where even every single report has its own links embedded within it, which I'll click and it'll open me up to those specific reports. That blew my mind. So now whenever I want to create content, let's just say my next 30 days of content, I can upload this ICP doc as a PDF to my AI tool. ChatGPT is my preferred one. And I'll say, this is my ICP. Keeping this as a foundation, help me create the next 30 days, 60 days, 90 days of content. Just give me topics. Uh, what is my topic for the day? And then I'll record a reel. What is my YouTube video for the week? I'll record the video. It gives me an instant head start. And my audience is you, a leader. Are you able to see the depth of just asking some questions? This is the power of communication. Now, this is not over yet. Okay, this is not over yet. This is just the passive part I told you, right? That's the part that we fixed. But now when it comes to the active part, every piece of content that we are putting out, whether you're watching me live right now, you are interacting with me over LinkedIn, we are slowly turning on all the switches. We, at this point of time right now, January is the month when we have to do a proper upgrade of our cohort. Recently, we got the CPD accreditation. Our landing page is getting optimized. The process is getting simpler. We are fixing a lot of things at the back end, at the process driven end, so that we can continue that process without putting our brains at all anymore. It's brain in the freezer action. And we know that it's a process that works like magic all the way end to end. The business part is what we are working on. But only once the business part is ready and we see that we have students coming in, we can create more, the cycles and everything is going to continue to improve. So once I have my passive ICP document ready, the content will lead to interest. The fact that you're watching this, and if you're watching this so far with me, every single day you've been watching me live, for sure you're going to feel, oh, wow, this guy is really doing a crazy job. Let me see if I can hop in on a call with him, or let me talk to him. Let me drop him a message. Now, you'd either connect with me over comments or DMs or however it is, or you can also use any of the links that's given below to book a call with me. In the call, what I will do is I will ask you those exact questions that I asked AI to do the research for. So I will ask you about your goals, your aspirations, your achievements that you would like to unlock. I will ask you about your fears, frustrations, problems that you're going through in your personal life, in your professional life. I will ask you the specific communication challenges that you are going through. This is me doing the active work. And if I see that you are an expert and you don't really need help in communication, but you're an industry expert and you like my content, I will invite you as one of my live guests where I'll ask you questions, you answer, and that's an enormous value for you, for me, for the audience, as in fellow leaders. Or if we see that, well, you genuinely have some certain communication issues, within that call itself, I'm creating a single page mind map telling you these are the problems, these are the solutions, this is where you are, this is what you need to do, this is where you need to go, these are the things that you need to do in order to make it happen. Now, I've given you the complete roadmap. You can do it yourself. Oh, you don't want to do it yourself. Okay, why don't you join our cohort where we'll make you do this in less than 10 weeks? Sound fair? We only have 5 seats. How crazy is that? Isn't it true? Now, all that data, let's just say you decide to, I'll give you all the scenarios. The live happens. YouTube is creating a transcript which now I can feed into AI and create my customer persona, update my customer persona with each conversation. Okay, you decide that you want to do it all by yourself, but you gave me your expertise, so I can add that expertise transcript also. The ICP gets updated. In fact, I can also create a proper agent or a custom GPT that is only and only my ICP, so that I can literally talk to my ICP. When you decide to join our Speak to Lead cohort, you fill in the onboarding form and I take those details and I add in the ICP document. The action steps that you took, what I mentioned, right? Some of the brightest students are the ones who are actually taking the most action. What is the action step that you took? What did you enjoy? What did you not enjoy? What can be added? What can be made better? What are the successes that you experienced? All those conversations are being fed into the same ICP document. So passive research is what has made it as step zero, which is a 181 page, more than 68,000 word detailed document, which continues to get updated and upgraded with active inputs as we are working with more and more people. If this happens, I know right now, if I'm talking to a leader, you can do the same as well for that one person you would like to speak to. And that what's one person at this point of time maybe is in your company, maybe is your friend, maybe is your relative, maybe it's your family member. But you'll be blown away on how many same form, at times plus minus, but the same kind of audience is there all across the globe. That is the person with whom you speak to. At the end, I will leave you with two examples. One, I'm giving you I'm doing a live on how to master communication skills. Then I'm doing a second live. This time, how how do you wait, let me frame the sentence properly. Okay. Communication framework for mid-career leaders who are ready to become a CEO of a company and aiming for the same. Which of these two lives will you enjoy more? How to master communication skills or communication frameworks for mid-career, whatever I told. That's it. And will you also agree that the approach to both these lives are going to be completely different? This is more superficial. This is deep. This, I can do it anytime in the night. This, I need my research. I need to put in so much more efforts. The same thing goes for you as well. For you, it's an advantage because you have that 15 to 20 years of experience already. So what you speak is already in-depth stuff for the people that you are speaking to. And that's why it makes it so easy for people in Speak to Lead to graduate and immediately start their entire, continue their entire communication journey publicly. Because here's the thing, the way the algorithms and the platforms and all are shifting, the right people will find your content. Your content will be showcased by the platform to the people who need it the most. Initially, you might not even see any traction. Like right now, I know yesterday's live got 10 views. Those 10 views are exclusively for those leaders who are probably not yet into Toastmasters and they want to join Toastmasters. The same way, this particular live I know is going to be for those leaders who want to start their communication journey, but they are not so sure. I don't want to speak. I don't want my boss and my manager to find out that I am making videos on Instagram or whatever it is. Practicing communication skills publicly. This is what will help you. And it'll reach out to you exactly at the right time. And I know that for sure. That's how the world of internet works. To summarize, I'm not sure how long I have spoken today. I just wanted to kind of had that download yesterday. I wanted to put it out. Hopefully I was sure. Even before you find out what is it that you'd like to speak to, who is it that you'd like to speak to, just think of the people you've spoken with. Go to AI, do these deep research and find that entire ICP document, build that entire thing for you, and then just start creating content based on that foundational thoughts in itself. As you do so, you will start getting feedback from the audience in the comments, people giving you DMs and all. Keep making tweaks related to it. Just keep making tweaks. And as you do so, you'll begin to realize that suddenly the people who are listening to you are your friends, and you've already started building your audience. And all you need to do is just keep serving them itself. You don't have to serve anyone else. That also means that your audience is going to be so unique that tomorrow, when you become a big, big, big brand, not just a brand in terms of an influencer or something. No, I'm talking about you're going to be the go to expert in your industry, specific for your role, because you have the proof, the global social proof. Everything, however, starts with communication. And today was me just giving you a sneak peek of the deep work that I am doing just to serve you. If you enjoyed that, make sure that you hit that like button, the subscribe button. It would mean the world to me. And also, if you can share your thoughts of whatever it is that you learned and what are you going to take action on in the comments below, it's going to be super, super inspiring for me also. And I'm going to hold you accountable to make sure that you really start speaking. That's my intention for you. Yeah. I'll see you in the next live where we're going to dive deep into something even bigger.